Saddleback leather, classic briefcase, 7-month update. 7 months in, I'm still getting lots of compliments on it. The other day somebody said it's still the nicest looking bag in the office. And of course, since I think it's really fun, I like to talk about my bag a lot. And as I was talking about it, I was talking about how it can go into backpack mode. And the coworker I was telling just kind of interrupted me and he's like, "Must be nice for when you become the road warrior." Yeah, I kind of stopped talking at that point because I think people don't get as excited about it as I do. So this bag has actually been through a lot of adventures in the last few months since my last video. I took it on, or I was taken on a tour of a dam.
Water that finds its way through these holes and such.
Yeah. I brought it with me through the catacombs of that, which was really cool, and it did just fine. Oh yeah, also I took it to Las Vegas for a work thing, and my boss, my state boss, as he was introducing me to the entire crowd that was there, he said, "Here's this guy, and he has a really nice bag." So he told everyone to have a nice bag. He's talking about this one. Also, every time he sees me, he asks me where his bag is. Which is funny. He also asked me if he could take a closer look at it because I think he wants to try reverse engineering it. So I think I'm going to send him a link to the how to rip off a Saddleback leather bag video so he could learn how to do it. Oh, hey. Izzy, what are you doing? Also, I've carried the bag through a lot of hail and rain, and it held up just fine. It gets covered in rain spots. Doing okay even in the hail. And then it just kind of dries off and doesn't really leave a stain. And then of course, took the rain and hail like a champ. One thing I wanted to mention is that this bag creaks like a chuck wagon or an old sailing ship. Or something that creaks. Or a cow and a pig that's been turned into a bag and added buckles to. So anytime I'm walking around or carrying it, it kind of has this, just like this, like squeaky and creaky sound to it. So I kind of sound like an old dusty leather robot. It's a good creaking sound. It's an attractive leather creaking sound. But you're definitely not going to sneak up on anyone while carrying this. So since I carry it so much, the shoulder pads are getting a lot of wear. One thing I noticed is that these little guys that keep the strap attached to the pad, I noticed they're getting really stretched out. Let me show one of them is really stretchy. That one's kind of stretchy, but I think right there, mostly this one. This one is really, really stretchy. So just something to notice after 7 months of constant use, that this part right there is really stretchy. That gap is a lot bigger than what it used to be. So I don't know if in the future they might reinforce this part with that nylon stuff, like all the other parts. But that's something I wanted to point out. And then also I tightened this a little bit because I just wanted it tighter. And one thing that's kind of interesting is that this little flap does not want to stay in. It's like the leather's memory was tucked in the other way that I had it. Now that I've tightened it, it's constantly falling out. Not a big deal though. One thing I noticed is on this buckle right here, some really, really deep scratches. I have no idea where they came from. They're really deep. I don't know if you can see those. And you can actually feel them if you scratch it with your fingernail. It catches your fingernail in there. So I have no idea what would scratch this metal, because I just carry it normal. So, kind of strange. Alright, this Lawrence Sue, sorry if I don't pronounce that right, commented on my 5-month update video. If you want to patina your bag quicker on the front, I suggest you carry the bag the other way around, with the front side rubbing up on your body rather than the back. So I actually tried that. Even though I said I tried it occasionally and it's no bueno, I actually tried it. I decided to try it for 8 days specifically for you, Lawrence. So let me tell you what I experienced with that. So in case you're wondering what he means by carrying it backwards, normally you carry it like this. You just grab her all there, lift it up, and here it is over your shoulder, like so. And then this smooth part rubs on your back, and that's normal operations. Now, Lawrence probably noticed that the back is getting very, very shiny and beautiful looking. So that's why he suggested it. So, from the 28th of May to the 4th of June, I decided to try that for Lawrence to see how it would go. So now, every single time I've been picking it up for the last, the last 8 days, I pick it up this direction and throw it over this way and carry it like such. It's actually not that bad. These buckles do catch on my pants though. I'm usually wearing dress pants when I carry this around. And then this guy will actually stick down into my back pocket sometimes, which is awkward. But it's not too bad. Every once in a while the buckles get caught on my pants like these guys. But it's not too bad. You can notice that it's already starting to wear a little bit, so my body mostly rubs right there. And you can see that it is getting a little bit shinier from that, and then a little darker, just like on the back how it's getting darker. And I don't know if that's where those scratches came from or what, but yeah, so I figured I'd give that a whirl. And then it is also wearing it underneath here as well. Yeah, okay. Under here you can see that it's getting darker on this side because there's more pressure, and right there it's putting more pressure from the buckle, so it is wearing it there, as you can see. I also had a little kid come up and start like pulling on this and tugging it and scratching it, and the nice thing about this bag is you don't have to worry that it's going to get messed up. I'm now going to show you what's inside of it that I've been carrying. This is what I carry on a daily basis. I know some people are interested in this and like to know what's in here. So here we go. On the side, usually there's some granola bars, little stuffed creatures. And here I have my office key, because I don't want it encumbering my keychain. I have notebooks. What else is in there? Pens, business cards. I still carry around those, a couple of those little... this thing from Saddleback, the little Bible-y thing. So I still carry that around in there. There's some extra pens, a few people's business cards. I have my headphones, giant 10-foot charging cable, Cliff Bar, all smashed. That, and a pen down there that I acquired from a hotel. Then over here are other people's business cards, and then on this side are my business cards down there, as you can see. And then we have a whole bunch of folders. Ugh. A whole bunch of folders. A laptop. It's only like, I think it has like 11 or 12 inch screen, so it's pretty small. This thing can hold a 17-inch laptop, but I like the small one. Also, I have to use it for work. A note on the secret pocket while we're staring right at it. Remember the secret pocket where you can hide stuff? So, since I carry so much stuff in there, and most of the stuff weighs in the middle, so it's pushing down right there, the secret pocket is actually starting to curl up. Okay, there you go. You can see that it's curling up on the edges. The edges are curling up down there in the flap, you can see. So it's not actually that secret anymore. So, should be aware of that. Okay, in the front side we have a whole bunch more folders and pamphlets. Ugh. And then one of these guys, one of these things, it's not a Saddleback one, because I'm field testing it. See if it's a thing I would use. The laptop charger down there, which I will grab. And some granola. Some more stuffed animals, creatures. And you can kind of see how the inside's been wearing. See, there's lots of scratches. Lots and lots and lots of scratches. And it's getting darker brown on the places that get rubbed more. You can see that there's a lot of scratches and dark brown spots. And tons of scratches in the bottom, making it look really good. Okay, and then of course the pigskin still, anytime your nails touch it, it gets scratched. You can see all the scratch marks in there from when I reach in and grab stuff. And then this front part, right here, since I'm always grabbing stuff out of this part, I grab it and I pull it like that. And so it's definitely getting more stretched. You can see there's more stress. There's more stress right there from pulling on there all the time. Okay, and then since I pull on this part a lot to grab stuff, you can see it's kind of getting a little bit stretched. And then you can see there's some, right there, there's a kind of creasing around the sewn parts down there. That's just because I'm always grabbing it. Alright, here's a view of the pigskin on this side. Again, doing really well. I'm constantly taking stuff in and out of here and hauling it around, putting it in my car, taking it out of my car, taking it into places, setting it down. It's getting constant use, and I still don't know what these black things are. I'm assuming it's just kind of the pigskin equivalent of what happens on the back when it rubs against your body. So because there's so much room in this thing, I actually find myself carrying a lot of unnecessary weight. I think this is another drool spot that happened today from her. So yeah, I find myself carrying a lot of unnecessary weight because I can, because it will fit. So, and this is getting a little bit stretched out, but not too much because it has that dog collar stuff in there. The holes I use the most are a little bit bigger. You can see those two right there. And then these ones are smaller. And I always tuck it up underneath like that, so it's not doing the elephant trunk thing, because I think that looks kind of ugly. And I didn't use these at all the whole time for belts or for buckling these. Also, I took it on another overnight weekend adventure, and of course it did great. Here's what it looks like when you pick it up while it's not buckled, by the way, in case you're ever wondering. So you can still transport it, it just stretches a little bit on the back. But obviously that part being attached needs to happen. So if I am ever in a hurry to get up and move after a meeting or something to get out of people's way, and it's not buckled yet, then I'll just grab this, because then it carries just like normal. So let's look at more of the wear. Alright, here's how the handle's wearing. It's getting super dark. One thing I'm noticing about the handle is that when you grab it and you squish it, it is a lot more pliable. It's still like rock hard from whatever is in there, but it's getting more squishy. Like you can feel like the outside layer now, and then there's like something hard on the inside. And of course, there's that awesome scar or stretch mark or whatever it is on the top. Right there. What are you crying about? You're fine. Okay, and then I always have this thing backwards because I don't want it rubbing against my body. And then I've been stuffing a lot more stuff in this pocket here, and so it's getting more baggy and stretched out. Oh yeah, and then back to what I keep in it. The side pouches are really good for snacks, and they're getting more squishy. You can see they're getting really wrinkly. And then randomly there's just these chunks. I don't know where, if it's getting caught on stuff or what, but it gets nicked. Little chunks get ripped out of it. And then of course this side's good for a water bottle. And let's look at the bottom. Alright, here's the bottom. It's looking really good. So you can see how it's stretching from where the heavy stuff goes, and then the part that touches the ground in the middle is where it's getting darker. And then the belts are getting a lot darker where they constantly touch the ground. And it's really fat right now because I'm constantly carrying it with a full load of stuff in it. So you can see it's getting, oh yeah, right here, this part's getting a lot squishier. Now I haven't done the full-on like break-in session with this like I did with the backpack, like where you just like smash it and stuff. Mostly because I'm just letting this one break in naturally, because I like the rigid shape it has as a briefcase. But yeah, there's the wear on it. This is 7 months in. These guys get a lot of wear. There's this guy that was, yeah, that side's kind of ripping. I don't know why it's turning black. Oh, and then these right here. This is where when you're carrying it, that thing pulls on it. So you can see that they're kind of getting turned up a little bit on the edges. Right there. Mostly over here though. It's like getting crinkly. See, there you go, right there. That's where the buckle rubs a lot, so it's really squishy right there. And right there too. But, of course, it's still holding up wonderfully and still looks really, really good. One thing my wife commented about the bag is that it is extremely heavy. Because I will just leave it around, you know, in normal places where you leave a bag, like right in the middle of the bed or on the computer chair or on top of the laundry or right in the middle of the floor where people can trip on it. And so when she's picking it up to move it, she notices that it's extremely heavy, and that's probably because I super overload it. One thing you're going to want to do when you get yours, maybe find a spot to keep it. I've been keeping mine like at the bottom of the bed on the floor, like right there, because that's pretty much not in the way. Okay, that is it. That is this bag after 7 months of aggressive usage. So let me know what you think, or if you have any questions, or if there's anything you want to see on the bag. And then, of course, if you like this, you should subscribe, because I will be making more of these, because it's fun. Okay, bye. Okay, just kidding. I'm not actually done. So one thing I realized that is totally true from this video is at the end, Dave says this.
If you live the kind of life that you need to depend on a bag to get you through, I think you might want to get one of mine.
I've definitely found that quote from Dave on his website to be absolutely true, because I use this bag every single day, and it takes a lot of abuse and sees a lot of action. So I depend on a bag for what I do, and it's true. It holds up really well. Thanks.